go out there.
But see, that's
crack somebody.
Right. But see,
that's how
But see, that's the key, and right. As we take this journey, what I want you to see certain things. Because it's important that you see it so that you know. But I want you to understand the system, because understanding the system is not seeing that and then wanting to go crack somebody upside the head. Understanding the system is, why are they doing this? How are they doing this? Okay? And how they are manipulating all of us. Black. All of us. Because what you don't realize is that white people are oppressed too. White people are oppressed too. You don't realize.
They just don't show it. That's the thing.
They don't know. They don't know. A lot of them don't know. There's some that know, but they're oppressed too, because they receive the same programming, right? Because this system is designed to keep us against each other. Okay?
Because at the end of the day, we're all one.
We all come from the same source.
My thing is, and if you look at it like this, even if we come from all the same source, looking at it on a physical level where everybody can understand. Where did you come from? Where did you come out of? You know, where did you come out of?
A woman.
Exactly.
Right.
We all came out of it on a physical perspective.
Okay.
We all came from our mother, in a sense.
And when I'm going back further.
Yeah.
Because the first human beings that they found were of African people. The oldest remains. Everybody else descended from those people. Okay. And I'm gonna show you some.
Was it called Africa?
No, because that was the name given by the conqueror. I think his name was Africanus something, right? But there was different names that they said. Like Nubia, they said. Right. There's a lot of different names that they say. But the thing is that when we deal with language. See, right now, right, because we're communicating, right? Because a lot of people, they might not know certain terms. So we got to communicate the way under the language that we know right now until we know better. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot that's been done in history. They whitewashed a lot of things. Okay, so I mean, even in Egypt, as we speak, they're covering some of those depictions of black people over there and putting white people up there. Okay? Because they're trying to change the history, change the narrative. And what you have to do, right? That's why I'm saying. I went to a Motown show, right? They had the Motown play not too long ago. And I'm sitting there watching this Motown play. And they said something and it went over a lot of people's heads. And they said, perception, unchallenged becomes reality. Perception unchallenged becomes reality, and that hit me so much. I went, pulled up my phone and put that in there, because that's what it is. We have to challenge what they're trying to make us perceive of ourselves and of history, and the only way that we're going to do that is from research and from studying.
Real quick, I want to be respectful of time. Will, are you supposed to?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right,
I just need 10 minutes. So
10 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, peace. You wanted to say something? Okay.
I wanted to say that no matter where we came from, whether it be Africa, Europe, or wherever, the thing is that we're one people. Like, we're one. We're not divided. So whether I'm black, white, Indian, Mexican, whatever, if I'm dying in the middle of the street, I expect you to come and help me.
Right.
No matter who you are.
But you know what? Let me say this to you too. This thing is about truth, and don't be scared of truth, because truth is truth. We did come out of it. From their scientific evidence, we came out of Africa. That man came out of Africa. So don't let them manipulate you to feel a certain way. It's all right. We can be proud to have that.
No, I'm from Africa.
Oh wow, okay. But the thing is that, like you said, it doesn't matter, but in truth it does, because we have to start trying to raise the self-esteem of dark people around the world, not just Africans, because even in India.
We're everywhere.
Right, because the dark
Literally,
people
we're
of the
everywhere.
world seems to be the ones that are being subjugated.
Everywhere.
Right, everywhere. No matter if it's India, China, no matter where you're from. If you're dark complected, they try to make you seem subhuman. That's what they're doing. Okay, and that's what I'm talking about in terms of understanding the system.
You was talking about perspective and everything like that, and I was asking my friend, I was telling him that we don't need money at all. Like, we literally don't need money. Money is just a piece of paper.
Right.
I said it's just the same as if you have a pen here, you put $100 on it, and you give it to somebody and be like, I want a bag of chips. Like, or I want this, that, and the third. It's the way you value it.
And it's funny because that you said that. Think about Kanye West and his shirt, that white T-shirt. He was selling a white T-shirt
White T-shirt.
for $100.
And then it's like you could have a white T-shirt, splash some paint on it, and I swear to God, it would be like $1 million. And I was thinking, I was like, he was like, he was like, we don't have money. How we gonna build things? How we gonna do this? That? I said, that don't make sense. Listen, I told him, I said, that don't make sense. Because when you build things, you build it with your hands. It's not crafted with money. You're not literally taking money and building it. It comes within a mind. Your creativity comes within a mind, and you take it out and you build it and you sculpt it. You don't need money to build anything. Just like these iPhones, you don't need money to build an iPhone. You build it on your own. What it takes to build an iPhone, a phone. I mean, a hand. So it's like, so I just got mad because I'm like, I said, he was like, yeah, we need money and this, that, and third. I was like, but what did we do back in the day? We traded. We traded for a lot of things. It didn't have to take money. It was just that the value, it just escalated over time because we wanted more. So, and now we.
And they found a way to control us through.
That's deep. That's deep, my sister. Yeah.
There is like two parts to me. There is like the whole new age, spiritual, optimistic side of me that's like, we're all one race. Let's just all love each other, right? And then there's like the old school pro-black or like realist part of me. It's just like, and then it's just like, yeah, we have to just kill like white people. So it's like the thing that gets me is like I like get where like people come from. We're just like we're all one race, but I feel like you should worry about your like family, your race, and then you like worry about like the whole humanitarian thing. You feel me? It's race first, like because like that's what all these other people do. They don't let like black people like work at the stores. They like circulate the money inside their community. They don't like let it go out. They worry about themselves first, and then they worry about the rest of the world.
Can I make this just one point? Just this life is not about what other people do. This life is about what you do, because that's what you're judging on. You're judging your deeds, not anybody else's. It's funny because I was walking with a friend of mine. And was a homeless guy out there. So I gave him some money. So he was like, oh man, why you give him that? I said, that's what I'm supposed to do, right? So he said, man, you probably gonna use that to get drugs or whatever. That's not on me. That's on him. Because he has to answer for what he does. I did what the Creator instructed me to do, which was to give in charity. To help somebody else. And charity isn't always money, it's giving of yourself to help somebody else. Whether it's a smile or whatever, that's charity. So the thing is that, just because somebody else might do something, that's on them. Because I have to answer for what I do. So it's a mental thing that you just gotta, you gotta beat these people.
I agree where you're coming from. You can be all of those things, that alchemist side of you, and that pro-black side of you. It's like, one of the things I think that's hindered us throughout our history is that we didn't put ourselves first. Exactly. We always thought about, how they feel. I want to be, equal. I want to be able to integrate things, with them, which is no problem, if that's what you want to do. I don't see an issue with that, but we do have to focus on ourselves because we see the history. Our history is different from a lot of people's history, even though it's connected. But we were, in two different positions. we came through it, our condition, through slavery was different from the condition of those who enslaved us. So that's just something that, that we need to understand. And, history is so important. History is very important, and that's why, we need to study that. But we also have to understand, what's happening in the past is the past. It's what we do in the present that's going to determine our future. So yeah, history is shaping. It may have influence today, but what we do today is going to influence tomorrow. So it could be a person who has no idea about their past, and still they're able to create their future. But how are they going? What are they basing it off of? So history is important because then you have something to base it off of. You can say, okay, I'm going to follow that direction, or I don't want to follow that direction. Or I'm going to create my own path. And so history is important. But I just real quick, because I know my time is, I probably got a couple of minutes. But I just wanted to go back to us and white people, Chinese, no matter what community you come from. The history in America, it's all it's all intertwined. Even though it may be different. But white people before the black codes, I just want y'all to know this, there was black codes instituted in the 17th century. We're talking about the late 1600s, around 1660s, 1670s, they started instituting black codes, because before that, black and white people, were black and white workers, indentured servants, slaves, were looked at as the same. They were both oppressed, and they understood that their condition, in America was the same. And so they were organized to come together and revolt against the system of subjugation, the system of oppression. So what they did, they said, we gotta find a way to make white people feel like no matter, if they're indentured servants or how poor that they are, that they're better than black people. So they started instituting what they call black codes, where black people and white people couldn't marry, or if there was a violation, a black person would be punished more than a white person would be punished for that same violation. And later on, you had Jim Crow, which was just an extension of the black codes, and that was after the Civil War. But real quick, because we touched on so much that I want to go back to Abraham Lincoln. So we just be clear on Abraham Lincoln. What Abraham Lincoln did, he wanted to bring the South back into the Union, right? He wanted to stop the war, but he said, hey, if you guys would just come back into the Union, slavery can continue, but if you guys want to persist and y'all want to keep on fighting, then we're going to abolish slavery. And that's when he came up with the Emancipation Proclamation. So the Emancipation Proclamation was based off of whether you guys want to, end the war or not. Because if the South would have said, okay, you know what, let's end the war, let's go back to the Union, slavery would have continued. So that's just going back to how the war was never about slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation was it was a political move on Abraham Lincoln. They would tell him, hey, the Emancipation Proclamation, this might be a way to stop the war. And so after 1963, January 1963, when the South continued to separate from the North, then that's when they said, okay, that's when it came, that's when the whole, we're going to free the Africans and black people in America once the war ended. That's how that all happened.
But see, what they did was they used the Emancipation Proclamation to free the slaves that were in the enemy territory.
In the enemy territory,
right,
yeah.
Which he had no power over. So
exactly.
That was the game.
Exactly. And so then it was the pressure behind Abraham Lincoln, because you had the abolitionist movement. And these things, I hope you guys look into, but there was an abolitionist movement. They were putting pressure on Abraham Lincoln to free the slaves. So they wanted him because there was a thing where you had those who were more radical and said, hey, we want to end slavery now, and then you had those who were saying, no, do it gradually. They wanted to take their time and free the slaves. They didn't want to do it right away. And so you had these two different abolitionist movements going on. And so it was pressure on Abraham Lincoln to do so. He didn't, he couldn't care less if slavery existed or not. But this is things that, just go back and study this. And I guess we're going to end there because I don't want to hold it. I know I was supposed to be, but we was behind schedule, so yeah.
Right. All I got is notes.
But I appreciate you guys giving me time, but just do me one favor though. Next time that we meet up, I guess it's next Monday, do me a favor, just think about some things that, that's going on in the community that you would just like to see change. And how we could sit down and democratically say, hey, what's something that we can work on together? The five of us. We don't have to move a mountain, but maybe it's something that we can do to have an impact. So just think about that, and next time we come, we can go over the 10-point program so you can have an idea. And you can do that on your own. You can Google the Black Panther 10-point program and have an idea of how to, set up some programs. So you can actually come up maybe with like 5 or 6 things that you feel like you want to change, and then, we just narrow it down to one. All right, so I appreciate the time, guys.
All right. So pretty much, I just have some notes from what y'all said earlier. So pretty much, I like saying pretty much, but for real, we don't need money to build the skills. There's a lot of. Oh, you about to say something?
No,
okay. There is a lot of people dumb. They didn't learn when they was young how to teach themselves. But that's what the system wants, to keep things running smoothly. They find it disrespect when you disrupt, which is what the Black Panthers did. They only see the middle finger when you have your fist up. They'll rather see your middle finger than you standing up with your fist up. See, some people, I'll be breaking their little heart. I say, how is that a piece with you splitting it all apart? You see, you got to keep it closed like this.
That's very true, yeah.
Because that's the foundation for when it grows into a fist. You see, that sound decent. We should, that's what we need to be. C4 if we want to blow up. Communicate, to connect, to coexist. So we can be a community. Unity is what power is. Not currency, that's the mark of the beast. But that doesn't mean people with money should be marked as the beast. In order to be strong, you don't have to prey on the weak. I just want to say that everything that you do is your fault, and so is your faults. You understand? Everything that happens is through thoughts, meaning actions is manifested through thoughts. So I just want to say that right before we got out here, I have a nice 2 poems of 2 things that we was doing. The way that one is, it's not a small world, it's your world, and your thoughts put everything in it. That's why you can go across the world and run into somebody thorough that you haven't seen since you was children. It's not a coincidence. See, I call it the sickest sense because it makes me sick that you don't take the time to figure out what makes you utilize and tick within. You're clueless. In fact, you probably don't even know the difference between deja vu and deja vu is. Number 2 is, speaking of excuses, and people without uses usually end up in nooses after going against the abuses. Now I know why niggas with attitudes are so ruthless. The youth gets this mentality from history. And who did this? And ended up the biggest thing in history. You get it. It's no mystery. Honestly, how victims of poverty live so miserably. They say blacks is like crabs in a bucket, but the bucket ain't the habitat for crabs to be fucking with. So it's not an accident what happened when they the ones that put them there. Let me guess, what you expect? For them to be shook and scared? No. So when the bloodshed, don't act like we the ones that took it there, because we was just chilling at home and got took from there. I mean, they take you from heaven and strip you from all your gold and then throw you in prison and strip you from all your gold. See, that's deja vu. Just be happy you know. And just know that your reaction is the only thing you control. Oh, I mean this. Believe in what you believe in and don't let them use your suspicion as a weakness. That's how they got Pac Xing other preachers and teachers. And I don't care if you think that I matter or not. I'm going to say this loud. See, I believe somebody somewhere is looking at everything in the clouds. And on the 4th year, like that, I'm going to be in the clouds gathering information, and like that, I'm going to beam it back down. See, this is not spirituality. This is a cheap imitation that's very expensive called technology. And with one pentagon line of smart dust, you can have limitless thoughts. In fact, the title of this poem is called Transhumanism. You know what it is? Well, Alphabet Google or whoever it is takes everything that you put in the clouds and put it all in your head. Yes, singularity is all that it is, i.e. AI, artificial intelligence is all that it is, hijacking your mind and filling it with propaganda, changing your perspectives. See, my hypothesis is, if DARPA has their way, no one will ever have a secret again. So just know that to all the haters and the complainers, there's a reason for people like you. What you call an excuse for not doing is a reason for people that do. And for the people that give and never get, there's a reason for you as well. You might not believe in this, but you'll reap the benefits in the next realm. But that doesn't mean not to give an ish now and to let people walk over you like the ground or the earth. And for all of the people that's claiming they down to earth, before you start preaching this life, make sure you understand how to balance it first. Because there's people on all different levels of consciousness and they don't quite understand how it works. So don't be jerks. Yes, a Negro not being aware is bad, but calling a Negro a nigga is worse. Now with that being said, there should be no debate about the N-word. And I'm not talking about niggas because that's a word that we spend more brain power trying to figure out than the actions that's actually happening. And that's what's absurd. So pretty much if you don't like the way that your life is designed, then change your actions or change your mind. Pretty much complaining is a waste of time. So what's the point of chasing happiness? It's not going to happen if you're not happy inside. I'm iLLzWiLLz Watu'z. That's ill will with 2 Z's. You know what I mean? Follow me. Thank you. Hopefully you guys come to the peace party and that's what I do at the Peace Park as people get they volunteer on. That's what we do.
Peace Park?
Yeah, the North Philly Peace Park, 22nd Jefferson. It just means bring your soul to the soil. So if volunteering means chilling, looking at the flowers, that's what you do. If you want to sweat, we have you can mow some lawns or whatever. You understand? So that's how it is. It's from Fridays and Saturdays. It's every day, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the main day we have stuff. Hopefully, we're trying to get you guys to come down and do some stuff and see what's up. You know, help with the kids and teach them. So that's how that goes. But that was definitely with that gorilla thing, like with the N-word. Like I just thought about that while I was saying it. Like that's exactly what that gorilla thing was. So we was counting how many times it was getting passed, but what was actually happening that was in front of our face, we didn't even peep that. Like, so that was
powerful. That was loud. Right then and there. You did that right then and there. That's good. I can't wait the next time, y'all. Lord.
So what do you got? How long do y'all stay here? Somebody else supposed to?
Oh, there's a bathroom right there.
I'm gonna go to
That corner.
She's gonna be there?
But I'm gonna know with the car.
Yeah, I think y'all have a.
So is it today? I know it's Monday, but I don't know if she's not gonna have it.
Because I think she's going away.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna be back till August. But I don't want to tell you something.
What time is the next class?
You know, if that's next week or whatever. I think like I think she's going.
I'm gonna just go do some.
Oh, wow.
Just see what I can do. Oh, I gave you that.
Yeah, I got it.
But 3 p.m. is self-care and 4 p.m. is knowing thyself. So.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No, appreciate it. I'm definitely coming. Is this every day?
Yeah.
I think it's only on Sunday. Sundays and Monday.
Definitely.
What's your social media tip, right?
Yeah, that's
You just come on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's
That if y'all going, like I said, you'll probably see a lot of new age stuff on my thing anyway, because I do recording.